It's always a pleasure to have you on the program, and I want to believe that you're keeping safe and you're good. Welcome. This is NIMASA This Week, the program that shows you what you need to know about the maritime sector. The governing board of NIMASA recently held a retreat in Lagos to look at the agency's activities. Notable Nigerians were on hand to share knowledge with the agency. In pursuit of effective interagency collaboration, the DG NIMASA continues his journey, this time visiting two agencies that have a lot to do with the success of the maritime sector. On the program today, I will also be sharing with you a visit by the Nigerian Merchant Navy. They paid a courtesy call to the headquarters of NIMASA. What was it all about? You will find out. Again, I say welcome. This is NIMASA This Week. My name is Cordelia Obe, your captain.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for our maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.
Intensifying the cooperation between the relevant government agencies in a bid to have a very secure maritime domain here in Nigeria is very key to the DG NIMASA. In view of this, Dr. Bashir Jamo visited the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, Mohammed Babandere in Abuja, with a declaration that teamwork was the surest means to security. Dr. Jamo, who was at the NIS headquarters on a working visit, said the Immigration Service was a critical stakeholder in the security apparatus of the country. He said the service was also key in the implementation of the cabotage law, which seeks to empower Nigerians in the maritime sector. The Director General stated, and I quote, "We need to interface and synergize to achieve our common goal of national security. Immigration is key to the success of the country's maritime imperatives in many ways. Many of the criminal activities that take place in our waters emanate from land, and NIS is a very important element in any effort to nip such crimes in the bud." Jamo added, "Collaboration with the NIS is crucial in the achievement of the objectives of the Cabotage Act. Such partnership will go a long way in reducing interagency conflicts that often arise from the overlap functions." In his response, Babandere did express the readiness of the Nigerian Immigration Service to support NIMASA in her efforts to curb illegal migration and piracy. He disclosed that NIS had started making use of the Migration Information and Data Analysis System, MIDAS, a comprehensive border management information system developed by the International Organization for Migration, IOM. The Comptroller General said MIDAS was designed with the capability to collect, process, store, and analyze traveler information, especially the biometrics and profile, in real time, for the purpose of identification, verification, and authentication of documents. Meanwhile, the DG NIMASA also paid a visit to the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mela Kiari. After the meeting, which lasted about an hour, the DG NIMASA did say that synergy amongst agencies, intergovernment agencies relevant to the maritime sector, would help and go a very long way in easing the implementation of policies in the country.
From time to time, there is need for agency collaborations and cooperation. The essence of this visit is to renew the normal cooperations we do receive from NNPC in terms of, our own mandate. There are so many areas where we have to interface with the NNPC. The issue of petroleum product or crude oil, you can't do it alone. You have to use ships to transport those crude oil as well as PMS and other products related to NNPC mandate. So in our own, in terms of on regulatory functions, we have to, interface with each other to know where there are gaps so that we can connect the dots and see how we can, cooperate with each other.
Oh well, I am happy because my people at NIMASA, they're very happy too. Why? You'll find out. The management of NIMASA is quite committed to ensuring that the welfare of staff and motivation is always top-notch. And so the governing board of NIMASA recently approved the promotion of a lot of staff at NIMASA. The staff were encouraged to do more in the area of productivity. Not just that, even the Nigerian Navy promoted some of the naval personnel attached to NIMASA too.
The governing board of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has approved the promotion of 595 staff, including 9 directors. The promotions were approved at a meeting of the board in Lagos, chaired by Honorable Asita O. Asita. 9 deputy directors were elevated to substantive directors on grade level 17, while 45 assistant directors were promoted to deputy directors, and 71 grade level 14 officers were promoted to assistant directors. Those promoted to directors are the agency's head ISPS unit, Jida Aishatu, head Marine Accident Investigation Unit, Egbuche Rita, head Eastern Zone, Audu Sani, and head Internal Audit, Olamide Odusoya. Others are head HSE unit, Dr. Anselm Wanze, head Legal Services unit, Egejuru Victor, head Servicom, Bolaji Kehinde, head Reform Coordination Unit, Kabiru Murnai, and head Marine Environment Management Department, Dr. Felicia Mogo. The agency spokesman, Philip Kianet, and the coordinator Abuja Zonal Office, Zailani Atta, are among the newly promoted deputy directors. Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, congratulated the promoted staff and charged them to bring their wealth of knowledge and experience to bear on their new positions. Jamo stated, to whom much is given, much is expected. This promotion is intended to reinvigorate the attitude of staff to work and bring about more commitment towards transforming the fortunes of the maritime sector. He added that well-motivated staff are the driving force for the maritime industry transformation for economic development. The staff who've benefited from the promotion exercise were full of commendations for the agency's management.
We're grateful to the board for the approval on the promotion. We would also like to commend them on the new strategic direction of the agency. We want them to be committed to the transformation agenda. We also want them to continue the good work that they have started. We wish them successful tenure.
I thank management for all they have been doing concerning staff welfare, and I thank them for this promotion. And I want to say that they should sustain this, because this will surely prompt staff to do more.
I wish to congratulate everyone that was promoted alongside myself, and to also appreciate the executive management led by Dr. Bashir Jamo for a job well done and for doing it on a timely basis. It was swift and fast.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Navy has also announced the elevation of some officers serving with the Maritime Guard Command in NIMASA. Lieutenant Commander S.E. Ateru and Lieutenant Commander B.I. Zwaka are decorated with their new ranks. Just before decorating the officers, NIMASA Director General noted that promotion comes with more responsibility and charged all promoted officers to rededicate themselves to service of fatherland.
While congratulating you, I implore you to be steadfast. Don't be afraid to take charge. Wherever you are, be in charge. You must understand the dynamics of the new rank
You have to be a goal-getter.
To whom much is given, much is expected. So with that, the more tax we might get to do the needful as regards operations in NIMASA.
With this promotion has come greater responsibilities. I intend to live up to that responsibility.
The World Maritime Organization says seafarers who are at the core of shipping's future have been selected as the World Maritime Theme for 2021. This is to reflect a clear need to raise awareness of seafarers' vital role in world trade and increase their visibility. The focus on seafarers comes as the COVID-19 pandemic has placed extraordinary and unprecedented demands on seafarers. Hundreds of thousands faced and are still facing extended sea times, going months at sea without seeing families and loved ones. The crew change crisis in 2020 has highlighted seafarers' exceptional contribution as key and essential workers on the front line of delivering world trade through a pandemic and in ordinary times. The IMO Council meeting for its 32nd extraordinary session held by correspondents endorsed the theme following a proposal by IMO Secretary General Kitak Lim. The theme will provide flexibility to the Secretariat, member states and NGOs in consultative status to focus on seafarers as the people at the heart of shipping, while also allowing for activities to delve into specific topics relevant to the role of the seafarer in safety, maritime security, environmental protection, and seafarers' well-being, and the future of seafaring against a backdrop of increased digitalization and automation. Mr. Lim said that the COVID-19 pandemic has illustrated more than ever that it is crucially important to ensure the functioning of the global supply chains and the facilitation of the safe and efficient operation of maritime transport. Through these difficult times, the international community has seen how the ability for shipping services and seafarers to deliver vital goods, including medical supplies and food, has been central to responding to and eventually overcoming this pandemic. This could not happen without the professionalism and dedication of the world's seafarers, Mr. Lim said. In 2020, the Day of the Seafarer campaign took on the theme, Seafarers are Key Workers. The World Maritime Theme for 2021 also links to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals SDGs, particularly SDG 4 on education and training. Moreover, the theme can be viewed as an extension of the theme for 2020, namely Sustainable Shipping for a Sustainable Planet, as seafarers are at the core of that theme as well.
Do you know who a seafarer is? Seafarers are the people who make the world go round. Seafarers are people who have been employed to work on ships. They ensure smooth sailing of the ship while making sure that goods and services get to us from every part of the world. And despite the COVID-19 pandemic, this set of people are still working for the benefit of everyone. Wow! Let us celebrate these special people as they are the people who truly make the world go round. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA.
Honorable Asita O. Asita, the board chairman of NIMASA, led the governing board to a session. What was the session all about? It was all about capacity building in effective management of implementation of government policies. That is something that's very necessary. So reputable Nigerians were there to help build this capacity during this session.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought upon humanity new challenges which require new ways of doing things. Little wonder corporate governance in times of uncertainty was chosen as the theme of the session, where Professor Patu Tomi, Professor Fabian Ajogu, and other senior advocates of Nigeria, Chidi Ilogu, were amongst seasoned Nigerians who came to share knowledge about enhancing productivity in uncertain times like we have now.
A retreat is a time to step away from routine, to reflect deeply on particular challenges, and to prepare and recharge. In this particular case, it's about governance. People don't realize how important governance is for achieving goals. The DG has been in the system, he's learned a lot through the years. Other members of the board have cognitive experience. What they need to do is be innovative, be very, very creative. Fear not.
There's no substitute to learning and thinking outside the box. A lot is expected. Shipping development is a must, but we should look at not just the competitive, not just the comparative, but the competitive angle. Like, even if you say you want manpower development, what area of manpower development? What should make Nigeria stand apart? So that if you remember that, you say Nigeria. If we say crewing, everyone says the Philippines. If you say officers, everyone remembers India. If you say shipbuilding, everyone remembers Korea, Japan, and that kind of. If you want to do everything at the same time, there won't be focus, and the lack of intensity will not present the kind of result. But we have so much hope. They are young people and they are bright, eager to learn, and we pray that God will support them.
How can it then be that a man of your knowledge, expertise, experience, exposure, did not see that there was a hole in the balance sheet of that organization that you serve on? I'm trying to get the judge to see that the only explanation is that he colluded with management. It can't be that he didn't know. He's too knowledgeable not to know. Ladies and gentlemen, you are very knowledgeable members of the board.
Well, we came here to build teamwork and to acquaint ourselves with contemporary trends in the maritime industry, and to take time out to listen to professionals and subject matter experts discuss different legislations, different policies, and global best practices. We are also looking at policy direction. Where do we want to take NIMASA to? We have met NIMASA where it is. We need to leave footprints in NIMASA at the time that we are leaving the agency. We have learned cooperation. We've learned to work together, to build together. We understand the challenges of shipping and the maritime sector, especially challenges associated with crime on our maritime domain.
I would also want this to be a board that places NIMASA in meta leadership in the maritime ecosystem.
The major challenges of the maritime industry today in Nigeria has to do with maritime security. As you are aware, we have a representative of Nigerian Navy into the board, and then we have been working hand in hand to see how we can overcome the biggest challenges that nearly, strip off the Nigerian integrity to the international community. We sat down, we deliberated, we look at the policies that we have in place, and then where we are today, what are the challenges, and then how do we overcome. We try to develop the deliverables of how we can quickly turn around the perception of the international community with the key performance indicators. And within the next 2 months, I'm sure that we will be smiling. So far, as God will have it, the SPOMO Act, popularly known as Piracy Act, We have tested the water. The court in Port Harcourt, passed a judgment using that particular act. So we also reviewed that particular judgment. Vis-a-vis the progress made so far, what are the challenges of the act. So this particular retreat tried to see and understand what is lacking in that particular act and how we can formulate policy that will make us to go back to the National Assembly and review the policy as well. So a number of far-reaching decisions has been made in terms of the maritime security, which is the more important and the key area of our own mandate.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.
If you're just joining us, I say welcome. You're watching NIMASA This Week. The Nigerian Merchant Navy and Water Transport Senior Staff Association paid a visit to NIMASA. What was the crux of the matter of this visit? Simple. How to eradicate falsification of certificates in the seafaring industry. Very, very crucial. The Executive Director Operations of NIMASA, Shehu Ahmed, was the head of the team that welcomed them to NIMASA.
The Nigeria Merchant Navy Officers and Water Transport Senior Staff Association is a registered association in the maritime sector with primary interest in the welfare of seafarers in Nigeria. When the executive members of the association, led by its national president, Comrade Bob Yosuo, visited the management of NIMASA, the issue of ensuring adequate protection for qualified seafarers in the country was top of the agenda.
In compliance with the MLC 2006 for a valid CBA to be on board all vessels. Therefore, the need for the agency to ensure all shipping companies in Nigeria have duly signed valid CBA with the union on board their vessels. By this, the welfare and the well-being of the Nigerian seafarer is guaranteed.
He alleged that ship owners engage unqualified seafarers due to cheap labor they offer, which in turn has led to the incessant catastrophe on board ships. While urging seafarers and members of the union to embrace local and foreign trainings to boost their curriculum vitae and experiences, Yosuo stressed that continuous upgrade of credentials was essential to the mental and physical development of any seaman willing to succeed in the chosen profession.
The issue of near coastal voyage, NCV, or Nigerian COC certificate has set us far behind our counterpart from other maritime nations. We hereby appeal to the master to either expunge the NCV from the certificate or issue unlimited master and chief engineer for deserving Nigerian seafarers who have the required educational qualification, working experience, and the necessary document to apply international waters, by upgrading it through examination either by oral or written.
The NIMASA Executive Director Operations, Shehu Ahmed, who led the NIMASA team that received the members of the association, noted that the agency is committed to professionalism in the sector.
I will receive your representation for almost forwarding to the DG, and then I will appreciate your coming here to interact with us. Of course, you have raised some issues of complementing your office with some generators, computers, furniture, and fitting. I will also forward the same to the executive management for their consideration.
Do you know who a seafarer is? Seafarers are the people who make the world go round. Seafarers are people who have been employed to work on the ships. They ensure smooth sailing of the ship while making sure that goods and services get to us from every part of the world. And despite the COVID-19 pandemic, this set of people are still working for the benefit of everyone. Wow! Let us celebrate these special people, as they are the people who truly make the world go round. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA.
Now, we shared with you the retreat. Yes, we did. But this is something I'm sure you did not see. And I will be sharing this with you. This is the tweet. And there they are. Yes. And the tweet goes, all work and no play makes DG a dull boy. This is part of what retreats are for. Thanks to all the team at NIMASA for adding some relaxation to the mix of learning and maritime business deliberations. Keeping physically fit sure helps on the job. Well, great time they had, and I'm sure we'll be telling you more about that retreat. I have to go now, but let's quickly do this. Remember to follow NIMASA on all her social media platforms. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. They are all at NIMASA Official, at NIMASA Official. Take care of yourselves, my friend. And as I'd always say, be safe, be happy. My name is Cordelia Obe. Bye-bye.